What's going on? I'll be what I'll be Fitness Gaming, and you've seen the title of the video. You know why you're here. Domain Zoo. So, been testing out this deck, making a lot of little changes. Trying to find the most optimal version of the deck. So far, the version that I like the best, the one that I've had the best success with, is the one that plays the 4 Stubborn Denials, 2 Remands, 1 Dromoka's Command. But today we're going to be testing out something else. We're going to be testing out Wrenn and Six and Teferi Time Raveler in the deck. So the reason I wanted to play more Planeswalkers was to give the deck a little bit more staying power. I do feel that the deck is well positioned. I think the deck is really good. I really think that Stubborn Denial is really good in this deck. That's why we still play it in the sideboard. But one of the problems that I would like to fix in this deck is staying power. We know that the concept of the deck is landing a threat, protecting the threat, riding it to victory. We want to control the battlefield. That's how we win our games. What the Planewalkers allow us to do is have a different strategy in case that one fails. It is hard for us to come back when our creatures keep dying and our opponent does not allow us to control the battlefield. Wrenn and Six, Teferi Time Raveler. Teferi is all around good in this deck. I mean, this deck does play Teferi. Mainly it has 2 in the sideboard. Occasionally people put it in the main deck. It's really good against Cascade decks and decks that are going to counter your spells. So Teferi on its own is a card that's already seen in this deck. So that's not anything new. But Wrenn and Six is a card that we don't see, which is a very powerful card in Modern. And it's arguably, possibly the best Planeswalker in Modern. I think that Wrenn and Six, Teferi are the 2 best. I think we can say that those are the 2 best Planewalkers. So it's kind of like, why not play this card in Domain Zoo? I'm not 100% sure. That's why we've been testing it out. I've played some games with it, and so far it seems very powerful. So let's just go over why I think this card is good in the game. I mean, in Domain Zoo. So for Wrenn and Six, getting rid of things like Ragavan early in the game from opposing players, and other creatures. I forget the name of the one that, if it has 4 card types, it becomes a 3/3. I played against that deck, and having an early Wrenn and Six and just pick off their creatures early on, I mean, it was a blowout. Another thing too that it gives you is card advantage. Keep in mind that we do have the Triomes, and the Triomes are cycle lands. And because you're able to put fetch lands back in your hand, and we are playing 22 lands, and the added land that we added is a Misty Rainforest, so we have 13 fetch lands. Because we're able to constantly put lands in our hand, and we're not going to miss land drops, we don't have to fetch out our Triomes. In addition, if we do fetch out our Triomes and they get blown up by a Field of Ruin or Ghost Quarter, we could always put it back in our hand and cycle it, and now we have a draw engine, which is something we're already playing in the deck. We don't have to modify the lands, so that's just another point of attack. Then we have Lightning Bolts and Tribal Flames and Dromoka's Command that, if Wrenn and Six gets to ultimate, now we have another win condition, right? We don't have to rely on attacking on the battlefield. We have another win condition. We have another problem card that our opponent has to worry about, that our opponent has to take care of. So I really like this card in this deck. But of course, we have to figure out whether it's the best option. So what did we remove to make these changes? So to add the additional land, the 3 Wrenn and Six, we removed the 4 Stubborn Denials. We put those in the sideboard because, again, like I mentioned, I still think that card is extremely good in Domain Zoo. And then we just removed the 2 Remands and replace them with 2 Teferis. Since we're adding another mana, I think we can play 2 Teferis here. Since we did take out the Stubborn Denials, I figured, hey, why don't just remove all the counter spells? Let's just go all in on Planeswalkers. So that's the deck, my friends. If you have any questions or any ideas, any things you want to add, maybe things I missed, please comment at the bottom. Let me know, and we're going to jump into some games. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos. And again, my friends, I'm going to have the deck list in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for some matchups. Alright, my friends, you seen the title of the video, you know why you're here. Domain Zoo. We're testing out 3 Wrenn and Six and 2 Teferis in the main deck. Deck tech is going to be in the description below. Alright, so we are on the draw. We have a lot of land and 2 threats. This can be risky. I'm going to mulligan this. I think we have too many lands. This hand is better. We're going to keep this. So what do we want to get? We definitely want to keep our lands. We got our removal. We got our Wrenn and Six. This is a tough. I think we got to get rid of the bolt. So I'm going to lead here with a Steam Vent into Ragavan. Oh, we can't get Steam Vents with this. That's okay. That's alright. We have a Wrenn and Six. Our deck is mainly a Naya deck anyways. Alright, so I'm going to pass turn here. Alright, so next turn, we can try to get in with the Ragavan. That's probably not going to happen. But if it does, that's good for us. But we're definitely going to look into playing our Wrenn and Six and drawing our land here. And putting a land in our hand. And then we're going to have Domain for next turn. And, Wrenn and Six can also pick this off. But I'm not sure if that's what we're trying to do right now so early in the game. And we got a Lightning Bolt. Let's go ahead and see if they trade. I don't mind the trade here. I would like to clear the battlefield of any threats. Because I do think that because of our hand, we can win this game with more value. Alright, so we'll do this. I'm going to play a Wrenn. And we are going to put a land back on our hand. And then we can have Domain active next turn. And we can start picking off their creatures. Assuming they're going to attack the Wrenn and Six here. Yeah. So I don't think we need any more lands. So what we're going to do here, let's start off by trying to pick this off here. And we'll bolt this. And then we can fetch out. Yeah, I got to get used to these new. Which one is it? Yeah, I think the Zagoth is what we're going to grab. Is the Zagoth. Is that the one? I don't remember. But anyways, we should be fine. We can still cast our Leyline Binding. Which we're probably going to want to hit here, the Hardened Scales. Alright, so let's just... Can they sack this? Destroy target artifact you control. Actually, I think we're just going to take the B. Alright, so we have a cycle land here, which is good, but we're not going to be cycling anything here. What I do want to do is grab another land so that we can start putting some pressure on our opponent now that they only have 2 cards. And our Wrenn and Six is in pretty good shape here. So we'll grab a forest. Another thing about Wrenn and Six is because we're able to constantly make our land drops, we're more likely able to get our... One, we can keep our Triomes in our hand to cycle them for value, but we can go ahead and grab our basics. Alright, so now we have blockers for their flyers. Most likely here they're going to have to use their Saga, yep. And they're going to have to use it again next turn. And we have bolts and we have Wrenn and Six to kind of continue to pick off their creatures. We've been playing a little bit more of a control stance in this game. But, you know, we're okay with that. Ooh, that can be a problem. We'll take the 4 here. Alright, so now, fortunately we only have 1 red source, so let's go ahead and do this here. See. Really wish we had another red source. Because I would like to Tribal Flames the Arcbound Ravager. I'm not attacking because they do have 2 Blink Moths. Okay, that's going to definitely be a problem. So we're extremely behind now. We're going to have to double block here. I mean, we could separate our blocks here. I mean, they can probably kill us here. I haven't done the math, but I'm pretty sure they can kill us here if they sack everything. we have to do this. Get rid of this. Yep. And then next turn we're dead. Alright. Not sure how I could have played that differently to change the outcome. But if you guys saw any mistakes that I made, comment at the bottom. I can see a argument for blocking and saving the Wrenn and Six, but I don't see the Wrenn and Six really helping us out in that situation. So let's see. So we definitely want these. We want these. We are on the play. So maybe we get rid of a Wrenn and Six. And then we'll get rid of one of each of the 1-drops. Hardened Scales. We should have, looking back at it, we should have probably taken the Hardened Scales with the Leyline Binding. I think I got a little too confident. I did get a little too confident, didn't I? I left their best card on the battlefield. Alright, so we're going to keep here. We can get a breeding pool here. And then next turn we could jam a Kavu, get him for 3. Or probably want to do this. And get in our damage as we can. Forest. Really need some type of removal. Any type of removal would be good right about now. Yeah, there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Do we get rid of the bug? No, I think we get rid of the land. Alright. Opponent might, I would assume they're going to block here, but who knows. I've never played this deck myself, so I wouldn't say that I'm an expert at it playing that. I would just assume that you wouldn't want another Ragavan hit. But I guess these creatures are better in play. Alright, so that's that. Alright, we'll go ahead and play this. And then let's go ahead and tear this. Again, we're not going at the Hardened Scales. Probably a target perma you control gains hex. Jesus, Murphy. So we're not going after the Hardened Scales again, but I mean, they would have protected it anyways. I think that mana screwing them and slowing them down would have been a better play, since we have a clock, and yeah, they're going to concede anyways. Yeah, that game, so I didn't go after the Hardened Scales that game because I just felt like our clock was really fast, and slowing them down made more sense to me. Alright, so we're on the draw now. Teferi might be good. I'm wondering if maybe we want to get rid of our Ragavans. I think they're not that good. Nacatl's still good. Wrenn and Six might be good over Nacatl. We're on the play. I mean, we're on the draw. do we want to play more of a control? Let's try playing more of a control version of the deck and see if that works out. So let's get rid of our early threats and just try to grind them. I'm not sure. I mean, I've never played against hardened skills with Zoo. So we're just trying out to see if maybe trying to play a longer game is worth it. All right, fantastic. Mulligan. All right, this is a good hand, and this, you know, this is pretty much what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to gain. Let's get rid of this plains. Trying to play a longer game, run them out of cards, hopefully, and then land the big threat and start going to town. Alright, so we draw another land. We'll get a Triome here, just so we can activate. Could get a Sacred Foundry. We'll see. Hardened Scales. Yep. We may need to get a Sacred Foundry here, depending if what they play. We gotta. Okay, that's fine. And there's nothing we can do about that, anyways. Let's see. Just get our Wrenn in play. Then we can Teferi bounce. We have a nice little control hand here. Right now my plan is to kind of run them out of cards and then land the threat and then take it from there. And the Planeswalkers, you know, can eventually win the game on their own anyways. It's been a while. I forgot how Peripheral does. That's going to be tricky. So what do we want to do here? Let's grab a Plains Teferi bounce. So there's two threats here that we have to get rid of currently. So let's do this. Play a land. Okay. Let's start with a bolt here. I should have played a white source, by the way. Okay. Should have played a white source. Should have played a white source or fetched out a red for the bolt so we can have 2 white. Yeah, because we could have easily won this game if I would have sequenced my lands correctly. Alright, so they can kill us next turn possibly, depending what they have in their hand. If they can't kill us, I have to imagine they go after the Teferi, because the Teferi can just reset their bug. Man, we really had this game. We really had it, my friends. But an important lesson here. This is why it's so important to like really focus on the lands that we play. We sometimes, you know, we play in a rush and we don't really pay too much attention. But you know, grabbing a red source here, getting rid of this, because we would have had another white, we could have won this game. Yep, and we're dead because of that misplay. All right. So that wraps it up for this game here. So as you can see there, the Wrenn and Six and Teferi combination, it's good, especially when you're playing the control role. Other than the misplay that I made where I should have fetched out an additional red source so I can have 2 white sources so we can take both creatures, we would have won that game. As far as winning, yeah, we would have won. I mean, we would have won. But mistakes happen, and we learn from our mistakes here. So, one thing that we always have to focus on with Zoo, one of the hardest things in my opinion, and anybody who plays Domain Zoo, is you have to understand your mana base. You have to slow down sometimes. You have to really think things through. Sometimes we get ahead in the game and we tend to just rush things because we're set on one idea, like, oh, we're just going to do boom, 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 and win. And then you make a minor mistake like that. And this is modern, folks. You get punished heavily for any minor mistake. But anyways, the point of the video of the match was you guys can see the power that Wrenn and Six and Teferi combined together in this deck gives the deck, right? It gives us a more control aspect of the deck. You were able to see it in that game there. We were able to control the game. And we control. Eventually we would have drawn into a threat. They would have not had anything, and we could have just taken over the game with our threat, or we could have continued controlling the board, eventually maxing out and our Wrenn and Six, getting the emblem, and then we had Lightning Bolt in hand, and then plenty of land, so we could have pretty much just won the game from there. But there you have it, my friends. Let me know what you think about Wrenn and Six and Teferi in the game and in this deck. Do you have any other questions for me? Comment at the bottom. Any other misplays I could have made? Any other things I could have done differently in order to maybe have a better chance at winning? My sideboard, was my sideboarding good? Let me know. I want to hear it, right? We're all here to get better as Magic players and how to fine-tune this deck here that we all love to see, watch, and play. Domain Zoo. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share my videos. Get those peaks! Ah! Well, you don't have to do all that, but you know what I mean. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and peace out.